Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar and Nux here today. We don't got a guest because, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode is brought to you by holy crap, the tax department went on strike and everyone's plans got thrown up into the wind. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it out like it is. Listen, I'll be real. Bureaucracy drives us insane. Oompaville is, as you can imagine, still inflamed with that candy, and also, I believe he's a little bit down into the weather, down in the dumps, so to speak. How you going, Nux? How's today?
I'm doing well. I was wondering what's going on with Oompa, and then I realized something truly incredible. Did you know Oompaville has a podcast with Nikocado Avocado, the Defire podcast?
He's been having that for months now, yeah. Did it come back?
Did you see the channel lately, Muda?
No, I didn't see the
when
channel.
You look at it, I don't think Oompa's allowed to talk about this, but since this is my own analysis, I feel like it's fair game for the podcast.
What?
Oh, Nikocado stole the channel! He stole the channel!
What?
He's posting his own shit there!
What the
I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
What? Hold
And
on.
if you look at the first Oompa video, the first Nikocado, I knew you'd love this. I knew I had to share this live on the podcast. Look at the first one after he stole the channel. Like, click on that and look at his pinned comment.
Why I stopped? Hold on, let me see.
Right?
This.
And I'll go to the pinned comment. This is just a mukbang, like regular Nikocado content. Click the link. It goes to a tweet. Or not. Or maybe that one of them goes to a tweet of Oompaville saying, I wish I still had a podcast.
I can't.
He stole the channel.
I literally cannot imagine. Oh my god. What a degenerate to work with.
Oh my
shit.
Dude, it's wild.
I don't even want to say anything out of pocket because like fucking Oompa, like I Oompa and Nikocado, like man, when I don't know, dude, they just got a weird sort of like fucking mix together. I know that they both don't like each other anymore. Like holy shit, but stealing the dude's channel, Jesus Christ!
I've never seen anything in my life.
He doesn't
right?
just steal the channel, he just like re-uploads old mukbangs to it. Like it's not even new shit, it's just older mukbangs. What the fuck? What a disgusting man. But
I just find that so like hilarious because it's exactly what he would do. Like it's perfect. It plays into his character well.
What like prompted you to like go down the Nikocado? Was this just like tertiary analysis when you were looking up?
Listen. I know there's some stuff like that Oompa's dealing with that obviously we're not allowed to share.
Exactly.
Yet. So I was doing some research and seeing like how my boy was doing, and I was like, wait a second, why did the fat man completely take over the channel? How did this happen?
Jesus Christ, that is so gross. My God.
I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
The only thing worse than this, honestly, is like the Faze clan shit lately. Dude, I probably will make a video on it when the like in the next couple days. I just got a couple other projects I definitely want to get out, but like man, dude, so for anybody that doesn't know, Faze Clan, they've been around forever. They've been like a gaming institution, right? Like, you know, since the dawn of time, there were three fates in the gaming religion. You got Optic Gaming, Faze Clan, and Angry Video Game Nerd, and those kind of people, right? Faze Clan was when I was a kid, like teenager, right? Like they were doing these trick shots and videos. So this is a great story. So when I was in high school, we were in the cafeteria, and I had a group of 7 friends. 3 of them at the time brought their MacBooks every day to lunch to edit videos for YouTube, right? Like they were doing like Call of Duty commentary, like Call of Duty like montage videos. And I was like, man, I kind of want to do YouTube. It'll be fun. One of them had 1,000 subscribers at the time, and he's like, don't even try. You won't ever reach that amount. And I was like, oh man, if only I could if only we could go back in time now. But yeah, they all wanted to get into Faze Clan, like to the point where they were paying to change their Xbox names to like Faze something. And I was like, dude, you guys are like getting involved into like literally like actual loser behavior. But
yeah, dude, the entire esports scene is like it's so toxic because it's inherently not profitable, right? So everyone has to find ways to squeeze out money from different places because esports just doesn't really make money. It's not sports yet.
Yeah, this would be something that like we should probably get like Ludwig and Charlie on the podcast or something again, just so we can like talk, because I know they run Moist Esports, and I don't want to speak out of pocket, but I think they might be operating on a loss just because the entire industry is suffering. Okay.
Yeah, Charlie mentioned that he was like he's at like a loss of around $100,000 a month.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Like
I must have skipped that video. Jesus Christ, 100K a month. That makes sense though. Like that does actually make sense, because Faze. So for those of you who don't know, Faze Clan is pretty much imploding, right? Like it's kind of melting at the seams. Faze Clan went public about a year ago. Year and a half, and by public I mean like they're on the NASDAQ. They're a publicly traded company. Now, when they went public, they were worth like, I think it was $20 a share. Yeah, like
the
crazy
was
amount.
Worth $1 billion.
The company was like $1 billion. They were popping at like $20 a share value. Right now, Faze Clan. Let me get the actual stock ticker right now. Faze Clan stock price is currently, it's actually up 49%, 0.49% today, dude. It is it is at a value of 55 cents US dollars. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that makes it a penny stock.
That evil laugh. It's like, I watch you fail. Dude, but like, here's the thing. If you think about it from like a business perspective, right? Content creators make a lot of money if they do really well making content and entertaining people, right? Like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, esports, you make money if you win a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like, just think about the difference there. You could be entertaining and shit at video games, and you will make a lot more money than if you're great at video games, but you have no personality.
Well, the thing about it is, like, I was always under the impression, I don't run an esports organization, or I thought about years ago buying an esports organization or like building one myself for Rainbow Six Siege. And then I realized, again, like the logistics of it, I didn't have the time to cover that business, so there were just better ways to put my money into. Because I always kind of thought that, yeah, you have to win competitions, but I always thought there was like a lesser portion of your income. Most of it would be like, hey, brand deals and, merchandising and all that stuff, right? I always used to think that every time you play these big games and you see like a Faze Clan logo, I'm like, oh, they must be making some serious bank from like microtransactions or whatever. But not so much, because Faze Rain, who's one of the OG members of Faze Clan, has pretty much been like publicly flogging the company. So Faze Clan went public, their value is like down, and their value is so down that they have been threatened by NASDAQ that if they don't get their shit together, they're being delisted from the fucking stock market.
Which is hilarious. Like, this is canceled on the next level. It's like, we're canceling your stock.
And
your company is canceled.
And it's insane, because so like I'm sitting over there and I'm like, when they went public, I'm like, why? What are they doing? Like, what is this, like a media company? What the is Faze Clan even? Is it like GQ, a lifestyle brand? Because here's the thing, the Faze OGs are at war with Faze as their executive board at the top, right? So the CEOs, the suits, so on and so forth. Now, I was looking over at a lot of the Faze Clan guys, like Faze Banks, Faze Tico, Faze Rain, a lot of these OGs, and I don't really see them making like YouTube content or Twitch streams or anything. They're kind of just there, and we know that they exist because of Faze Clan, but they're not actually doing like content creation or generating the revenue that we think, right? Like, when you compare it to other Faze members like Nick Merckx, like Faze Jev, these guys are still active YouTubers, active streamers.
Right, they're YouTubers, at their core.
Yeah.
Their money is coming from YouTube content.
And if they get paid a salary by Faze, it's a deserved salary, because you're also generating revenue and relevance for Faze as a company and brand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, but I do think that, look, I don't know exactly the how it works with salaries and whatnot, but I do believe most esports organizations, like, they take a cut for you to be in the org. Mm-hmm. I don't know if most of them pay salaries. I know Charlie's does, but I think a lot of them don't. Like, they want the talent in the org. They want their org to be better and to make more wins for them.
I believe, from what I understand with Faze, and I talked to Banks about this, and this is over a year ago, so the information could have been changed, but they have different contracts for Faze esports players, and then like the Faze like talent, like the content creators. Now, one thing that I find so weird is, as Faze was growing, or not growing, but as Faze was in the spotlight last year, you know who they brought on? Snoop Dogg. And they paid Snoop Dogg an insane amount. What is the only content that Snoop Dogg has made for Faze other than that fucking intro video?
I think that's it.
That's it.
I think that's
so. So they paid him, like, from what I've heard, $1 million for that. So, like, the FaZe Clan is dying. Not
Like, is that really good advertising? Is that really bringing $1 million worth of value to your company?
Well, it's like, are you an esports organization, or are you just buying celebrities so you look cool, right? Like, oh,
so
we have like.
I think there was a ton of drama going around. They just got this girl. I'm sorry, I really don't like FaZe Clan, so I haven't really been paying that much attention.
Yeah.
But so they recently got this girl to join. She was on like Stranger Things or something. Like.
So I thank God I tweeted about it. Thank God I kept it on Twitter because immediately when anybody gets involved, like women, it becomes like a misogynistic thing to kind of call it out. So I wanted to like kind of correct the record a little bit over here. She is on Stranger Things. I believe she was on for an episode, but she is in the Hollywood scene, right? She is a celebrity in that regard. But to correct myself, she is a streamer. I personally never heard of her content or her live stream for Valorant.
All I know is I saw a clip of her today talking about some other FaZe guy and like grinning ear to ear saying, "Yeah, and that guy he almost overdosed and died." And
yeah,
like,
that was FaZe Rain, who had a massive like fucking drug issue. I don't know exactly what drug, but yeah.
Yeah. Wipe the smirk off your face. Like that's scary.
So
I know nothing about any of this.
So like she's a Valorant streamer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And that's probably the reason why I never heard of her, because it's like, oh, Valorant, don't give a shit. But anyway, she streams like every day. She is a streamer, which actually makes her 100 times better of a pick than fucking Snoop Dogg, right? Because at least she's in the sphere,
she's
right?
Making content.
Like, and I know people are gonna be like, but Muda, Snoop Dogg streams as well. Snoop Dogg forgets to unmute his mic. There's a difference.
Yeah, and also, he never markets himself as FaZe.
Well, he got removed out of FaZe. I'm pretty sure he's gone.
Wait, did he?
Oh yeah, he's not in FaZe anymore. Snoop Dogg has no relation anymore to it. He was in, they did nothing with him, money thrown down the fucking drain. So, anyways, they bring this celebrity like girl into it. I think her name is Grace Van something. I don't have her name exactly there, but yeah, she's the newest FaZe member. And the thing is, it's like, obviously she's going to have a demographic if she streams, and I don't even think you have to be that great of a game to be brought on. She's a FaZe member, not like a FaZe esports player, right?
Yeah.
But it kind of shows me, like, did FaZe bring this girl on because she had a, spot on Stranger Things, which is how the media billed her as, right? Like, when you look at all the headlines, nobody mentions her streaming career, which is a shame in her eyes because she is a streamer. And she does it like every day, but they mention her Stranger Things attribution. So I'm sitting over there, and I'm like,
the most famous thing she's done, I guess. It's like Charlie, right? No one calls him a YouTuber. He's a Hunger Games actor.
Well, yeah, he's a Hunger Games actor, and then he does some YouTube stuff on the side. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. 16 videos a day.
Yeah, exactly. So like, this girl gets into it, and she's been shit on. It's so insane. Like, you get brought on by FaZe, and then the OG founding members. They're fucking throwing pot shots at you. Not just pot shots, but, like, insanely big pot shots. And you're countering with bringing up drug history. No matter what, like, from the outside looking in, it's attention for FaZe, but it's not good attention, Like, people are just like, damn, this is, like, an entire brand run by fucking idiots.
Yeah, I love the people that are like, yeah, but all publicity is good publicity. No, it's not, okay? Listen, maybe for some business without human beings attached to it, but definitely not for something like this. FaZe looks like a clown show.
But because right now they are the biggest clown show on the internet, dude. Like, to see them implode, and the reason why I don't want to jump on these videos instantaneously is I really want to see the full implosion, right? Like, I really want to see the end of the fucking train tracks when it comes to these situations, because it's like their company, and every time I've been following their stock bubble, and every time I've been following everything, like, I remember when they went public, there were a few people who were like, "Are you going to put money into FaZe? I'm going to put $50,000." And I'm like, I'm gonna put.
Oh, that's $1. That's less than $1 now.
Dude, exactly. And I back then I was always like, dude, I'm gonna put money into property, and they're like, yeah, but the FaZe, brand is only going up. And I just sit over there. I'm like, listen, it's not like FaZe is doing anything. Like, how is FaZe worth $1 billion when I don't even see a lot of their members produce content or do anything of that nature?
How is FaZe worth $1 billion if you, Muda, have a more successful YouTube channel than any of them?
That's that's really hitting them where it hurts. But yeah, it's like I talked about this with Coffee about a month ago when it came to like looking into Faze Clan, because this is when like Faze Rain really started coming out.
Where's
About
Coffee?
phases.
Where's
I
he
think
been? What's he been
he's
doing? I haven't
he's
spoken to
doing
him
his
in a while.
own investigations right now. He's a man
Ooh.
lost. But me and him talked about it. He's like, yo, these guys don't make content. So what the f- are they talking about? Like, how can you talk about Faze is dead and irrelevant when you guys aren't propping up its relevancy, right? Like the whole point of a brand like this is just consistently make content. How is a VTuber organization going to be successful if the VTubers don't produce content, right?
True.
Like, that's just generally the idea. It's like content houses. It's like, if you move 4 content creators into a house, and they
Although,
start...
you say that, but, dude, the VTuber area is, like, it's esports on crack. It's like, it is the next level, okay? Listen, I'm telling you, it's the future. And also, really scary. There was this I love VTuber corporation drama. Because some of it's like so petty and stupid, and some of it's like, how could this even be a thing? There was this company, Wactor, okay? They're a little tiny company. I never heard of them until this drama. And basically, they got so pissed at their members at some point, they doxed all their own members.
What?
They doxed their own VTubers.
They just gave out their, like, identity?
I was like, what is going on? How is this professional even a little bit? This is a crime.
I mean, what?
It sounds so stupid.
You know what? I can't even shit on Faze anymore. Like, Faze is a lot better. Jesus Christ!
True.
At least they're not
Yeah.
doxing each other. That is that
was the wildest VTuber drama.
that's
I
like
think I've
civil
ever seen.
lawsuits. Like, that's a guaranteed fucking win civilly. Jesus Christ!
No, but there's just so much stuff. Like there was a VTuber who was fired for claiming that from Niji Sanji, one of the big ones, for claiming that she claimed that she was sponsored by a brand that she wasn't. That was in the official notice, and the brand was D's Nuts. She said, "This stream is sponsored by D's Nuts," and apparently there's a company, D's Nuts, which didn't actually sponsor her. And so it was framed in that way that yes, she is claiming she is sponsored when she actually isn't. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in the VTuber world.
I mean, that shit is an insane fucking rabbit hole to go down into. Jesus Christ! It almost sounds like their companies run entirely by fucking children or AI.
You see, like, here's the thing: the Japanese
no
companies,
professionalism.
they work exactly like idol companies work in Japan.
Yeah.
And the idol companies, they pretty much treat the idols as
Slaves.
and the talent as. I wasn't gonna go that far, but, like, yeah, kinda. Like, they're just content machines. They always have to be pretty and beautiful. They're never allowed to drop their persona. They're not allowed to ever be seen with a boy, right? Like, the idols. And I know that it's not that extreme in the VTuber group, but they kind of see it that way, too. And it's when it clashes with the West that I think it's really weird and off-putting to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's like
companies operate.
it's like if you ever have any like personal problems, I'm pretty sure the company out there will just like sue you for like business damages if you ruin your own brand or some insane shit. It's fucking wild.
It's, like, dude, it's really wild.
Yeah,
It's really
and
wild.
the thing is, thank God that doesn't exist to the level over here when it comes to a lot of these like esports organizations. Because man, if that was the case, dude, I am surprised there's no gag orders or suits being thrown around to shut some of these like OG dudes up. But maybe there just isn't any money to do so anymore. Maybe they're just like flat f***ing broke at this point. So I don't know. Like, it's the thing with like these companies like Faze specifically is that like I don't see them lasting any longer than a few years, right? Because the way that I kind of envision it is, I know that like at least for Moist Esports or Moist Moguls, I think because both Ludwig and Charlie are on it, those guys can afford to take losses, you know, severe losses even, because they have a lot of other sources of revenue. For the Faze dudes, I just don't really see it anymore. And also, I think a lot of it is just like they're not good at managing their money, right? Like, you're gonna go to another like. You're gonna go to like LA, buy up like houses, content farms, bring people in, try to act like some
all these
Hollywood
companies,
types.
they need to like outflex the other companies. I don't know. Was it 100 Thieves? They bought like a multi-million-dollar gaming mansion. Did you see that? Like,
Yeah,
they
I think
don't
it's
need
a whole.
that.
It's a compound,
No one
bro.
needs this. Just sit in your bedroom like everyone else and
I
make
mean,
content.
You know, the thing is, if I ran an esports organization, and I'm not kidding when I say this, I'm not even saying this for the meme or the jokes, I would create a crack house. Like, I would create a crack house. Literal crap house. Like, I would get 4 of the fucking most degenerate gamers on the platform. You know what I mean? Like, just the smelliest types, the ones that you bring on, like good gamers. Just like basically like Elden Ring speedrunners. Okay, I would just bring them in unwashed, whatever you call it. I would literally have one house that I would buy in, like, you know, just a shitty side of town. I would just throw them all in there.
Not in
like,
LA. You'd buy it in, like, you know, in Oompaville's backyard somewhere in the middle
bro,
of bump
I
nowhere in Texas.
would go to like fucking like Midland, Odessa, Texas or something. Like fucking just like 3 hours out of fucking Dallas. You know, no one is living there.
It's like a little crack shack. There's like, no parties for anyone to go to. No events. They will never see a woman. Like literally in our driveway, we have a junked out Honda Civic that's constantly on fire because I keep showing up every other day putting fire on, like gasoline on it. Inside, we have CRT televisions that are on like fucking, like beer crates. And that's all you need, right? Like, I'd go in there and I'd throw Cheetos from time to time. I would just make the content crack house, and I would put live, like, I would just put cameras in there 24/7. We'd make content out of it, you know what I mean? That's basically Fishtank.
Fishtank, but
you're
a lot
describing Fishtank.
No. Fishtank, no, here's the thing with Fishtank. Fishtank is just in like Airsoft Fatty now. Have you seen Airsoft Fatty on Fishtank?
Yeah, I saw some clips. Yeah,
dude, it's so funny how, like, listen, some people on Reddit are just on the money sometimes, you know, like, people are pieces of shit. I literally, like, I started watching the Fishtank stuff, and I was like, dude, Airsoft Fatty's really wholesome. I saw him, like, sing at Creator Clash. He's probably a cool guy. Bro, by now, I think he's like an unhinged lunatic that should be.
I mean, I think he's always been a little unhinged, not gonna lie.
No, but I mean, like, he's excessively just intolerable to be around. Like, it wasn't even like, wow, like, I wake up some days on Twitter and I just see, like, I see his ass, like, hanging in front of me. Like, he's just walking around naked. Like,
very cool.
Like, that's him on Fishtank. He just rips his clothes off and walks around naked. It's like, you know when you watch Family Guy and Peter goes naked?
Yeah.
That's literally the same thing. There's no pieces. You don't even need to censor it.
I saw the IDubbbz documentary on Airsoft Fatty, and he did not strike me as a, you know, relatively sane individual.
Well, we all knew he had mental issues, but, like, yeah. I think being in that situation probably exacerbated. He also gets kind of creepy with some of the other women over there, so it's just like, I don't know.
Aww.
He's a really, really weird dude.
It's kind of hilarious that all of the IDubbbz documentary people kind of came together.
Yeah.
It's a little scary.
I think.
Did you see the clip of Tana Manju talking about the IDubbbz apology?
No, I didn't see that. It was on Twitter
It's
today.
a good one. It's a good one. She basically goes on a whole rant talking about how, like, when I saw that IDubbbz apology, I didn't really know how to feel because I felt like his criticism was, like, actually warranted and I deserved all of that.
You know what I don't understand? Why do people give Tana a fucking pass? Like, she's a good person. Wasn't she just, like, fucking running crypto, like, fucking trains on, like, people just over a year ago?
Dude, I don't know.
Like,
I think that someone that scams all of their fans, like, that... I don't know, this is my subjective opinion. Someone that goes around scamming fans, that is always going to be worse than using language that offends people.
Oh, 100%.
Like, literally stealing their money, that is a worse thing, I think.
Yeah, and not even, like, stealing their money in a clever way. Like, selling coin, dude. Like
okay, listen, even if it was a clever way, right?
No, okay, listen, if I got my money stolen by fucking Marty Bird of YouTube, I'd be I'd be like, all right, that's kind of badass, you know what I mean? Like, cool, right, he fucked me. But if I got my money stolen in Titscoin, A, I'm a fucking idiot, but B, the other person's just... Like the whole situation is just so weird how people give her the pass. Like, here, I'm sure
I don't know how
she's
still making content. How does she have an audience? Like, who watches her? I would like to meet a Tana Mangu fan.
Have you ever met, like, a Trisha Paytas fan?
Yeah, but Trisha Paytas fans, I think, hate watch. I don't think she has any fans that watch her, like, because they like her.
You sure? You sure about that, dude? I mean,
maybe not. I feel like Tana Mangu, she's not even fun to hate on. She's just kind of insufferable.
She's no, you know, I think the market is like, we're just too, like, we're too red pilled, my man. We can't watch the Tana stuff. There are fans. Listen, it's why Jake Paul has fans. Fans exist for even Logan Paul. They're just not intelligent yet, or they're not old enough. That's the thing.
Logan Paul, okay, here. Logan Paul is entertaining. He does, like, cool things every now and again. He does. He legitimately does. Yes, he's a greedy scammer guy, whatever, sure. But, like, I could see how people are willing to look past that for the 5 minutes of entertainment. Whereas Tana Mangu, I feel like what does she have going for her? It's not her sense of humor. It's not her story time.
She's the blonde girl from
Every
Vegas,
time I
man.
think of Tanamonga, the clip of her saying, "He raped me with a toothbrush." Like, I just think of her screaming that at the top of her lungs.
I just love how Tana was like, I grew up in Vegas, and like, you know, we all thought the N word was just meant homie or guy, and everyone just said it.
Right.
I'm like, dude.
Good cover.
I'm like, I don't. She's such a weirdo to me, like Tana. The thing about like
She
Tana,
married Jake Paul for clout. Like, what?
but
Why?
that solidifies the audience. You know the people who. Okay, you want me to tell you a Jake Paul watcher, an actual Jake Paul watcher that I know, and my aunt's kids. Unironically, will watch Jake Paul. Well, used to. They're a little bit older now. They turned 9. One of them turned almost like one of them is like 12
They've evolved.
now.
Now they're Andrew Tate fans.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're following Cobra Tate. Dude, his arc is crazy. When are you getting him on a VTuber organization? He's been posting with anime.
He's been tweeting all that anime stuff every day.
He has, dude. It's not just anime. I saw a video of him and Tristan like dancing. With,
I saw that dancing with like the Genshin Impact waifus.
Dude, I just couldn't. When I saw that, I'm like, this guy is wow.
What is going through their heads? They're interesting characters. You see, I see how people can be entertained by their content. You see, unlike Tanamonga, I think that they are actually entertaining people. They are charismatic. They are presenting a lifestyle that I feel like people want to have. This like invincibility. Everyone's out to get me. I'm the Neo from the Matrix. You know.
If I could post that level of cringe every day, dancing with like anime girls, and not get ratioed by my own core audience, dude, I would. That would be the best. But
to be honest, I feel like when I first saw that, I was like, "What is going on? What happened?" But I feel like if you embrace the cringe that much, no one could call you cringe anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he has made cringe his armor. Like, no one can use it against him.
It's also kind of weird. It's like, okay, so imagine if you're like some smelly, like, kid, you know, like the idea that people get out of it is like the anime person, like, oh, this must be some like smelly 4chan virgin, right? But like, imagine
you have this guy.
Yeah, but imagine the smelly 4chan virgin. Like, he's got his mansion. He bought an Aston Martin Vanquish just so he could pose with his anime waifu. That changes things, you know? Like, he's kind of like, you know, in the Elon Musk of shit. Like, Elon doesn't even spend crazy money in shit posts unless we're talking about, like, Twitter buyouts or whatever. No, this dude's just, like, buying out the supercars, the mansions, the compounds, just so he can dance around with anime characters. All while under investigation for serious shit. At that
point, he's almost invincible at this point. Like, what are you going to say? You're going to take him seriously enough to debate him?
Yeah, exactly.
He's this guy posting naked pictures of himself with anime girls in front of supercars. Like, you're actually going to take him seriously enough to think that he's thinking anything through?
No. You know who also doesn't think anything through? I think it's the greatest segue in the world. That Mizzy kid on TikTok, dude.
Which kid?
That Mizzy kid on TikTok.
What Mizzy kid?
The kid who ran into the other dude's house, like the trespassing kid.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The black kid that ran into like the fucking houses, like.
I missed this arc. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't see the TikTok video of the kid running into like the dude's house in London?
No.
Oh my god. Where the f have you been?
I don't know. I've been stressed. I have 2 strikes on my channel for child endangerment.
Oh my god.
I don't want to see any children.
No, not children. He's an 18-year-old.
I hate children.
He's an 18-year-old kid. Okay, wait, hold on.
I'm gonna pull my Anakin arc. Kill all the younglings.
Here. I'm gonna
in the least child endangerment way possible.
You didn't see this kid?
Dude, I missed this whole arc. I have no idea what this is.
Okay, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole, buddy.
Oh,
I'm gonna educate you.
Oh no!
I'm gonna educate you like the sages, like Socrates did to the people of Athens. Hold up. All right, we're gonna start off by going to YouTube. Hold on, Mizzy, TikTok. Here, let me. Dude, you do not recognize this kid.
I've seen his face show up at some point, like maybe on Twitter or something, but I don't know anything about him.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you a TikTok that he did, breaking and entering.
There's no way they didn't take it down. Like, they just left this on YouTube.
You would be surprised, my man. Okay, here. I think I'll just put my video up because I have the clips on here. I hate giving a view to these like vultures. So here's a clip.
Oh no.
Okay.
Walking into random houses. Oh,
Yeah,
God,
so
I
here he
missed this
is.
whole
He's
arc.
doing the.
He looks younger than the person that got me the strike for child endangerment.
This guy's endangering children by doing this. So the door is open, right? Okay, so I'm going to ask you this: as an adult, would you walk into somebody's house without, any announcement or any permission?
And it depends if I want to steal something or not.
Assuming you're doing this for totally legal reasons.
Oh no, then I probably would.
Yeah.
In that case,
So he goes into the house.
The house is open because obviously they've got staff working. Runs in, and there is an entire family.
I'm so glad you never watched this.
this dude just walks into other people's
This guy's like,
houses.
"What is going on?
Yeah.
Out of my
Dude,
house."
shoot him.
Okay, this
Take
is
a gun
okay.
out
Listen,
and put a bullet
This
in
is
his face.
this is the United Kingdom.
Oh, never mind. Shake him.
Now, if this was taken in like Texas, yeah,
he'd
Mizzy
be
would
dead.
be Mizzy would be f***ing wiped, like in Warzone squad wipe right here. But he goes inside his living room, sits down, and
This is disgusting. How have I not seen this?
dude, it's this is how you de-stress, my man. You look at other people making wild decisions.
This is a
So
I
okay,
cannot believe that's a real thing.
so
that
he
people did.
so for this crime,
Is he in jail? Please tell me.
no, he's going to he's gonna have a court appearance. So here's what happened. After that video, he was taken to court, right? And he was told, just do not post videos, especially of other people without their permission, right?
Okay, pretty basic.
He was fined for 365 pounds, which is literally nothing. This guy got off scot-free. He still decided to produce more videos. He broke his court order within 48 hours. He got arrested again. That was it. He goes on Piers Morgan and talks about like how
He went on Piers Morgan.
yeah, so he plays the race card on Piers Morgan. Watch this.
Like, tell me about your life.
I'm trying to get onto you. I'm black. Because I guarantee.
Because you're black?
Yeah, I guarantee.
I don't give a.
Oh,
He brings up the race card, right?
I love whenever you have your video, someone makes a stupid argument and then you're just like, oh, okay. It's like, yep.
Okay, buddy.
All right.
So okay. His other pranks include stealing somebody's dog.
Huh?
Watch this clip. He
TikTok.
grabs somebody's pet,
Just stole someone's dog.
grabs a pet, and runs away. That would get you shot here, rightfully so.
What the heck?
Okay,
How
but
is
then
this guy on the platform?
okay, but it gets wilder. So read this. Okay, GTA 6
This
in
clip
real
I've
life.
seen. This clip I have seen. He commandeers the train.
No, well, I don't think he drives it. I think he flips around with a few like things.
Can I call them, please?
But if he had pressed a button and started moving this, could you imagine the damages that would happen?
I mean, to be fair, I think you're only shitting on him because he's black.
Oh, of course. Like clearly, I'm just a racist. You know, I love this kind of videos because the thing is, like, actual real racists, and we're talking about like the real racists on platforms, probably bring shit up like this, and it's like, see, they're all like this.
Oh,
And
God.
it feeds into this
Did you
insane
see
narrative.
Zerka? I don't really know anything about him.
I heard
but
about Zerka from Destiny. I don't know anything about him. Please.
I know Destiny hates Zerka. That was my inclination. Zerka said something like tweeted at Andrew Tate. You're gonna talk about the Matrix attacking, but you're not mentioning the fact that the Jews control the Matrix. And I'm like, there's another one. There's another
Dude,
one.
that's so insane how like the anti-Semitism is like so on the rise that we're about to match the levels of anti-Semitism that Kirby has had. You know, like fucking, it's an insane level. Like it's
It was less than 100 years ago that 6 million Jews were wiped out, and you think they control the world? Like, just like what are you thinking?
well, I mean, like to be fair, look at who you can criticize and who you. That's what Elon Musk posts,
I know that's
bro.
what they like saying.
No,
Oh
but
my
that's what
God.
Elon's been posting. Have you seen his shit?
Wait, what? No.
Yeah, Elon, like, look at Elon's shit postings. Like, look at who you are allowed to not. Look at who you can't criticize and see who controls you. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, but that's
fuck.
like, YouTube. That doesn't mean Jews, right? Right? Say right. Rhoda,
That
please.
doesn't mean it, but I mean the implications are pretty
No,
much there.
No. No, it's like, but it's wild how popular. Vosh, right?
Yeah.
Leftist, beautiful man. He loves people. He said, I don't remember exactly what the clip was. I don't want to take it out of context, but it was something like, a lot of progress was made during the Holocaust. Like, the doctors made groundbreaking stuff by...
Was that him, or was I
experimenting.
swear to God, that was Anissa or like Boogie or someone?
It was definitely Anissa, but there was someone else that said it might have been Vosh. I don't know.
Might have been book. See that kind of a clip when taken out of context.
I'm pretty sure
it's
Boogie
like,
did say something like that too.
the thing about that whole like Holocaust and doctor progression is like you got to sit down with like your dad's a doctor, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my dad, doctor, both of our dads doctors. If you sat both of our dads down and asked them what fucking happened during the Holocaust that actually made it all the way to modern medicine, they would both struggle to find one fucking point. So, like, I love when people who aren't doctors talk about this shit, and then actual medical professionals like, yeah, no, sticking, like, fluids into eyeballs wasn't going to change eye color, jackass. None of that shit made it.
Like, but there's like actual horror stories. It's like, you know, you hear about this guy Mengele, and you're like, oh, haha, he was just a crazy doctor dude. But you hear the stuff that he did, and it's sick. It's disgusting. Like, he had a woman that just gave birth, and he would sew her nipples shut and keep so she couldn't feed her child and watch the child die of hunger in her arms, just to see what it would do to her.
The thing is, like,
there's no twist, no spin on that.
You look at the SS. You look at those like guys, the SS Nazis, and it's like, and like Hitler was a fucking charismatic like mouthpiece, right, for the Nazi Party, but like. Yeah. I would argue that motherfucker wasn't even close to half the evils that you would see of like other members in his organization. You know what I mean? Like
he was a bad dude, absolutely, but there were a lot more bad dudes.
Yeah, there were a lot of like the doctors. There were fucking war generals that were doing the most up shit. So when you see any defense of it, you're like, damn, you're right. It only happened 100 years ago, and it's like if history, you know, if you
that's really recent. My grandfather is a survivor, and he tells me stories. It's like, for me, like, I grew up with this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's wild when people are, like, putting a spin on it, like, oh, well, you know, this positive thing happened through something that had something to do with it. And
it's like the weird, like, sides who are just like, you gotta find the silver lining in everything. I'm like, I failed to find the silver lining in what the Nazis were doing in Germany. Like, I can't see it, you know? Like, what have they done that is exactly, like, what have they done that leads into the future? Like, the only thing that I think the Nazis ever did that actually...
ended the Great Depression because they caused the war that made, you know...
Well, they birthed the modern military-industrial complex.
True. Without them, we wouldn't have nukes now, maybe.
Yeah. Hey, listen, they're the ones that made, like, V2 rockets and shit, so if you want to talk about, like, lasting Nazi technology, it's probably weapons, you know? Like, that's... Like, they were really good at making that shit, and that's why we, like, grabbed the whole ton of them and brought them over here, gave them new identities and everything, you know? It was that or die on the f***ing Hague, you know? You pick one or the other. So, you know, when I look at, like... When you look at that discussion, I think what's really scary is like how the tide of the anti-Semitism and like a lot of that actual hate has just re-sparked again. Because it used to be just like Nick Fuentes was posting in like Cozy TV and shit, and that was it. Like, it was relegated to like 4chan, but now it's just like, bro, you've got like everyone normalizing it. Yeah,
it's really scary. Honestly.
But I mean that's kind of like the world we live in. It's like super duper extremes. I kind of just go with the hope that 90% of people that are like actually normal just like try to ignore this shit
I think it has to be a niche. There's no way that it's actually like an accepted mentality.
Well, like you go out in public right now and I talk to people and I talk about about Elon's questioning of, you know, the chosen people, so to speak. Everyone's going to look at me like a fucking weirdo, you know, rightfully so, right? Yeah. Like, and that's kind of what I hope is in the future. Like, even in the most like fucking raunchy parts of the world, people will still like just, you know, can rein you in. I think a lot of it
there's extremists everywhere, you know? There's extremists in every culture, in every religion, in every like, political leaning. And those are the guys that are the loudest. So I like to hope that the center 90% of people are normal. And it's only the 5% on both ends that you hear a lot about. That's what I hope.
I think that's a good way to look at it. It's like same with Twitter, right? It's like you look at a lot of this crazy right-wing shit, and then you look at a lot of crazy like left-wing shit where like they always like want you to be like you can't be a little bit edgy, you can't say the R word, otherwise you get. And I'm just like, listen, I'm just gonna be me, okay? Like I'm just gonna be who I am. I know that I'm not a racist. I know that I'm not a fucking sexist or a piece of shit. You might label me that because I'm not at your extreme end, but it is what it is, right? Like. Agree to disagree. That's
like I think a good example of this was like this is a relatively innocuous thing that happened that kind of showed the colors of this exact mindset. Hogwarts Legacy comes out, right? And all of a sudden people are saying that all trans people are also serial harassers and doxers. because that, people got harassed and doxxed, and that's obviously not true. And then you got, like, a bunch of people on the other side saying that they are trying to kill trans people. It is a genocide that is happening. They're trying to murder us, which also is...
I think the genocide stuff holds more weight, personally, because if you see some of the laws that get passed... where, like, you can't be, like, socially presenting, all that kind of stuff. I think when you look at the word genocide, it's like if you're trying to eradicate the visibility of somebody, that might be what is closely to it. I think when you use the word genocide, it really, like, immediately it puts the memory game into people's head, and you think of the Holocaust, you think of, like, Pol Pot, you think of, like, Rwanda.
Yeah.
That's what's hitting it. But I nowadays, I kind of look at them like, if you're talking about the eradication of anything presenting, sure. But, like,
I see
words are punchy is the thing, right? Like, we can't compare the Holocaust as it is, as we remember it, to, like, anything nowadays, right? Like, but it's not just the Holocaust that was the world's big genocides either. It was also other genocides
There were lots
too.
of them.
Yeah.
There were lots. This was just the recent one.
Yeah. The genocide, it's like, I think it's like people always attribute, like, actual, like, visible death, in front of them, right? Like, fucking actual systemic visible dying, like when I think of the Holocaust, I think of, like, the camps, right? That's the first thing that comes to my head. It's like a machine designed to, like, take life away, which that's one of the parts about it. Hogwarts Legacy, a lot of these game boycotts, I think part of me is like, listen, I really do want everyone to just be happy and, like, live life to the best of their abilities and shit. But that I hope most people just think that way too, right? Like, that's the hope that I have, right? Like, that's kind of what I fucking go into.
Yeah. The world's a scary place.
The world can be a scary place, but it's
we
also...
get an anti-Semite on the podcast at some point, Muda. What do you think?
I mean, we've had Oompaville for...
Oh, God.
Yeah, we could get Nick Fuentes. Would you ask Nick?
I don't even know where to start.
Dude, I would ask him about the Catboy shit. Like, you know what? I want to have, like, some of the religious guys on, like, this show. Like, some of the super Muslim, like, the red pill religious dudes. Like, you know who I want to talk on this podcast? We need to have the Pearly Davis girl on this podcast.
Yeah, she's
we need her to tell us about all the problems with women, dude. Like, holy, dude, every time I open up, like, my Twitter feed, she shows up in the fucking For You recommendation, which, again, it's
God.
The For You is literally not for me, but thanks. So I open it up, and she's just like, the world would be a lot better if women couldn't vote.
Like, dude, why does she do this? She is setting back, like, everything. Or, as you said earlier in this very podcast, and I quote, then women get involved and everything becomes so much worse.
No, I didn't mean it like that. No. Now, listen, Pearl will go up and be like, yeah, women shouldn't vote. But there's actually a lot of women that are like that. They're like, yeah, the world was a lot better before these
There weren't actually, though. I feel like, again, that's that extreme, small percent.
Yeah. Well, she also gives relationship advice. It's like, you shouldn't be allowed divorces.
Is she married?
No, she has no one. She's single.
Okay, so then shut up.
That's what dude, this is what I don't get about the internet. People take dating advice from, like, people under sex trafficking allegations, or, like, people that aren't in relationships. Nobody actually goes to people that are in healthy relationships.
Did you see Andrew Tate's tweet?
No.
100 hoes wish they were my dog. Did you see that?
Oh my god. See, that's why, like, he's just, like, this insane character. He's like a fucking wild dude. And it's the same with, like, the Fresh and Fit guys. Did you see the Fresh and Fit guys? We had Willie on here. We were talking about, like, the fucking, when he was younger playing Halo 2, no girl would touch him. And now they all want him. But he's going, like, I'm like, dude, you got, like, every single person in this space is, like, a fucking parody character from South Park, Family Guy, GTA, whatever the and, like, people take that shit seriously. Like, they really do. And I just don't get it. Like, we're two married individuals in normal relationships. And it's like, if you ask me, it's like, how do you get a girl? I'm like, just be a normal guy. Like, just make them laugh, have a good time. And it's like, yeah, but...
Don't be weird. Don't be creepy.
And
don't be incredibly divisive.
Here's the thing where it's like, women only want the built guy with money and a nice car and a house. And I'm like, now, hold on. Let's stop extrapolating. Are you talking about, like, somebody will only date you if you don't, like, smell? If you have a job, any job really, as long as you have a routine. Trust me, there's plenty of women out there that look at that shit as like a marker. That like that's a green flag. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna date any like woman out there that doesn't have their shit together, right? You know what I mean? Like if somebody's out there like,
what woman would want to date you if you're like a pimp and also under house arrest and be investigated for sex trafficking? I feel like that's a much lower bar for.
And it's like if a 27-year-old chick came up to me and it was like she's like, oh, I think you're interesting to go out with. I'd be like, so what do you do for a living? That would be one of my questions, right? I'm like, do you have a job? And I don't really care necessarily what the job is. I'm like, do you have like a routine? Are you an adult? Right? Like, are you mentally there? Are
you're already beat all the Minecraft dating advice right there.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, those 3 questions are like the fucking hard filter. If they can't pass the filter, it's done. Like, it's over. But yeah, it's such a weird thing. And then you come across like people on like streams where it's like, yeah, I'm 14 and I just lost my first girlfriend. It's all over, bros. And I'm like, you're 14. What the fuck are you talking about? 14 years of age? Go out and kick rocks. Trust me, life gets wilder.
It's over. Guess I have to listen to Andrew Tate. He'll put me on the right path.
That's kind of what my aunt's kids are like now. They're just
Dude, why does your aunt let them watch this stuff?
Because she doesn't fucking monitor her. Like,
there is
computer.
onus that falls on the parents here. Like,
dude, she buys on smart. Here's the fucking wildest thing about her, okay? So she has every fucking parental filter. If you walk into her house, it's like fucking North Korea. Okay, I connect to her Wi-Fi, can't watch porn, can't do nothing. Now, I've never tried watching porn at her house. It would be kind of fucking weird. I'm just making a point. Like, anything,
right.
She has like you go to her house, her router is like fucking locked to everything. Like, you can only watch like the babyest shit on the internet. However, she hasn't done anything for YouTube. She hasn't looked at parental controls. So, in her mind, she's like, I'm a good parent. I'm making sure they don't watch porn. And then their kids are watching like Andrew Tate and shit. So she's blocked this one possibly dangerous avenue of like, psych infiltrating shit. But she hasn't locked the other one out. So it's like the kids are just, they're consuming that video all. And they went from literally, it's so insane. It's the Roblox to Tate pipeline is what I'm calling it. Because, dude, a year before they were watching Tate, it was just Roblox shit. Like, I would go to his house and there would be this YouTuber called Dennis. And like, bro, he was like, let me tell you how much of a kid audience this was. Their merch drop was a back to school sale. I've never seen a YouTuber do a back to school sale until him.
It's like they know.
Yeah, they fucking know. So he's playing.
Matt Pat did it. Matt
Dude,
Pat did like backpacks and stuff.
Yeah, but Matt Pat's never seen in his life.
That's true. He's a God-fearing
Matt
man.
Pat has no idea what fucking loli. I actually believe Matt Pat's never seen porn. I know you don't fucking believe it, but I know that Matt Pat's never seen porn in his life.
Because nothing, not even that lolly, is sexier than math.
Dude, Matt
To
Pat.
quote my boy.
Matt Pat has never. Matt Pat has never, ever done a line of coke or any of that shit. He's never fucking done anything.
No, he probably hasn't. He's a PhD, like he's a very
got
straight-laced dude.
Listen,
a business, has a wife.
You know when the FNAF movie trailer came out, he didn't look at that trailer and go, "This is a good movie." He's like, "Oh, this is paying for the third mansion." Like, come on now.
Like, oh yeah, baby, another mortgage.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like Matt Pat is a different breed. But so like her kids go from like this like Roblox, super family friendly, hey guys, we're gonna role play some Bloxburg High School, and then the next year they're just like they've turned into Sigma males. Like they asked me, it's like literally they'll be like one day they were just asking me, it's like, how much money do you think you make, and do you think you've made enough money in your like life already so far? How much money should I make by 16? And I was like, that Witch Mountain meme where like Dwayne Johnson looks into the back of his car and the two kids?
Yeah.
That's what I did. I'm like, what the I was flat. What? What is wrong with you? And like, we go into a restaurant and
You're
go
16. Play Pokemon.
Yeah, like I'm sitting around, I'm like, this kid's already thinking of like getting an accountant at fucking 16 for what? 30 cents?
Getting an accountant? If you listen to Andrew Tate at all, you'd know that school is for losers.
Dude, if you listen to Sneeko, you think school was stupid.
Pathetic. Dude, the Sneeko thing, he is my least favorite character.
I don't even think I haven't even heard of him anymore. He's kind of like fallen off a little bit out of that. Now I'm just hearing about like other characters like Leafy and shit. Like Leafy's on Rumble all of a sudden.
Yeah, Leafy's out there.
Leafy's out there, and fucking like they're just there's so many new characters, and like Miskiff just got brought in.
Yeah, that was wild. Like, why? I don't know.
Well,
Okay, I was gonna make a really bad joke.
I know. I
like-
knew exactly. I had the same joke brewed in my head.
He wants a platform that if you accidentally cover up sexual assault, you can get away with it, and the audience will like spam W's in your chat.
I mean, that's the Rumble audience.
That's
the
Rumble.
fucking kick, right?
Oh god.
But yeah, what were you saying?
Yeah, no, but yeah, it was Sneeko. Like he posted like a tweet of himself drinking or something. And then, like, people started giving him hate, and he, like, replied to the tweet, and he's like, oh, yeah, this picture was taken before I converted. Now I don't drink anymore or wear any gold. Just letting you know. It's like,
Dude,
so why'd you post that
I
picture?
love, like, when Friday prayers were happening, and, like, and he was just, like, fucking tourism posting at the mosque, and I'm
Yeah.
like, aren't you supposed to be praying, bro? Like, what the fuck? I mean, I go for Friday prayers every time. I've never missed one in my life, and I've never, like, whipped out the smartphone and started taking photos of it. Like, what the Why?
It's like, it's not a flex. It's like,
Yeah.
people do this weird, like, I don't know how it happened, like, this religious posturing.
Because the Muslim
KSI,
community, yeah.
right? He said a slur in one of his videos. The
The
next
pack-
thing you
yeah.
hear, he's there. He's talking to Sheik or something about, you know, do you remember that?
Well, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny because he said the slur about like a certain like Indian and like Pakistani and Bangladeshi people in general. There's no fucking religion mentioned in there. If KSI truly gave a shit, he would go to like every fucking 90th religion in the country and apologize at everyone's temple, mosque, whatever. I'm like, dude, you said one thing. It is what it is. Say sorry and call it a day. The posturing was kind of fucking just super insane.
It's like every time you say a slur, you have to get baptized again.
Well,
I
like
don't know,
the thing with the Muslim community is like a lot of those like I don't want to say like a lot of countries are suddenly mentioned like there's a lot more Muslims on the internet than there were like a year ago. That's not true. Obviously, you know, Muslims have discovered the internet at the same time as everyone else. It's just that like I think a lot of the kids really feel happy that they see some more of their representation in like really
Yeah.
popular figures, right? And it's just like. Not all the people representing you are going to be good. You know what I mean? Like if tomorrow, like, f***ing David Duke from the Ku Klux Klan formerly came up and is like, yeah, I'm a proud Muslim, I wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, this guy's f***ing absolved now. Holy shit, he converted. Good for him. Totally
Yeah,
good.
right? Like,
No.
obviously, just like everywhere else, you got your good apples, you got your bad apples. I think Jeffrey Epstein was Jewish, right? That's not exactly, you know, a role model for
Well,
every
I
young
mean,
Jew
you know,
out
look
there.
at who you're allowed to...
Yo, stop, please! Oh, no! Oh, God, yeah, but, like, you got the same idea there.
Yeah, I mean, like, but that's the thing. It's like people will look at the bad apples and like blow them up. Like we looked at that Mizzy kid, right? And like, if you look into some of the comments and the people covering him, it's like, see, they're all like that. I'm like, now you're just being a racist douchebag. I'm like, this is one idiot. If anything, we should look at the bad apples and be all unified together and shit on them as one. You know what I mean, right? Like,
Agreed.
like if there's a bad Muslim guy, I want everyone in the world to shit on him, including the Muslims. Same with like Epstein. We shouldn't shit on Epstein because he's Jewish. We should shit on Epstein because he's a fucking like
pedophile.
yeah, he's a pedophile, a child trafficker. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
that's as
fucking
bad
big
as it
difference.
gets. Look,
exactly.
I got a community strike on my channel because I showed a person standing on a car door while the car was on. Okay, listen.
Dude, you gotta give me the text description of this whole thing. Like, give me the where the child endangerment occurred here.
Dude, I don't know. I read it. I filed the appeal. It got rejected. I'm talking to someone at YouTube, and they'll be like, oh, "I'm gonna make a good case for you. Don't worry." And I'm like,
What was the
"Okay,
video
alright."
though? Like specifically?
It was a Reddit reaction video on my second channel from a stream highlight.
Dude, the thing with the Reddit stuff is like, there was this
I'm
one.
never doing another Reddit video ever again.
Oh, but
never.
but dude, they all do so well though.
I know, but I'm never doing another one. I feel like half the strikes I've gotten in my channel's history were Reddit. Just some stupid post for 3 seconds.
I have a video that just sitting on my hard drive.
really close to the fireworks. We're gonna strike your channel and take away your livelihood now.
I have a video that like I just have a couple projects, like 10 projects. I look at like my favorite Reddit boards, like Narco Watch Reddit board, where it's just like the detailings of the Mexican drug war on Reddit, right? Like it's just like a bunch of journalists and shit. And I wanted to do like a Reddit review, but upload that shit to like Rumble or Odyssey or someplace. I know it
Dude,
won't get fucking
my
destroyed.
new favorite Reddit is God. Let me see if I can find it. It's
World
r//
politics?
So I do love world
Yeah, dude,
politics,
it's
but there's
been
also
great.
r// Alzheimer's something.
Dude,
Did
wait,
you hear
why?
about that one?
No.
Oh, Alzheimer's group. Yo, go to r/Alzheimer's group on Reddit.
I think I'm about to see
This is
something.
my brand new favorite subreddit.
Oh, this is gonna be. Oh my god! I can already see from the preview. You're such an asshole.
Is this the right one? Yeah, this is
Here,
the right
hold
one.
on. Let me. I'm about to share it. Here. This one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. You go to like top of all time or something just to see, like, instead of.
I feel like there's too much reposting on the sub. Here's some OC for you all.
Right?
Oh. There's
And it's
nothing.
this Garfield. Nothing happening, right? Just read through it.
There's nothing happening. Finally got the wildfire in my sock drawer under control. Out of the ordinary. I mean.
Right? I go to the next post. You're not gonna get it yet. Give it a second. Just give it a few minutes, and you're gonna start loving it. Go back to the subreddit. I'm telling you. You give it a few minutes. Here, this one. Was at the cinema with my grandson today. This hilarious comic strip pop up on the screen. I've never laughed so hard in my life. Right? And it's the same one.
It's the same one.
Keep going.
My grandson sent me the.
Hilarious.
There's nothing happening. I got the wildfire in the sun.
The r/Alzheimer's group subreddit is an entire subreddit dedicated to the same Garfield comic, and they all post it like it's the first time they see it.
Oh my
That's the
God.
entire group.
I got this
It's
new
the
tattoo
same
on my
comic.
back.
I just saw it. I've never seen it before.
This Matrix 4. This is yours. Oh my god.
It's the same comic again and again and again, and they're like, "Yo, I've never seen this before."
Oh my
Because they have
god.
Alzheimer's.
It's like the most longest running like just meme here. Artist with
It
the
just goes forever. It's a new Garfield comic. It's the same one. I love this one.
I almost
This
thought
is
they
my
were about to be
favorite
like
subreddit.
f***ing just and let me see how old it is 1 hour ago. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Right, it's the same meme.
This
This is a funny comic I saw in Australia today. It's brand.
It's insane. Ezra Miller, of course, is to show up in this fucking page somehow. That's a brilliant Reddit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. One of my recent favorites.
I mean, there's just that. That's the thing about Reddit communities like this, man. It's like sometimes you'll find like ones that just have like so much activity over the stupidest fucking like shit imaginable. This is actually where I find a lot of people who pretend to be from like towns that don't exist. Like, there's an entire community, I have to find the name of it, where they just pretend they're in Silent Hill. Like, Lost
God.
Forever. It's just like, it's like the ultimate role player fucking community.
See, like that's Reddit at its best, you know? Like the entire subreddit is just one stupid joke, but it's because hundreds of thousand people are doing it that it's just so funny.
Yeah, it's that or porn, one or the other.
Exactly. That's the other reason why it's great.
Reddit is just like, Reddit is a fucking, just the thing that always wilds me. It's like, people are like, Reddit is such a shithole sometimes. Because, like, it's just a toxic place. But I'm like, no, unless, like, that's the thing with the internet. It's like, Twitter's a shithole, too. But if you go to the right parts of Twitter, it can be the funniest fucking platform. Same with, like, really anything. When it came to, like, Twitter, it's just, like, I just tend to block out all the bullshit and just, like, literally, like, slip to, like, the gaming shit. You know, like, fucking ARGs, and that's what it is. And also, if I'm looking up something to help me, I always put Reddit at the end. That's, like, the ultimate life hack. Like, you want to figure out how to do something on the computer? And type in your question, add Reddit at the end, and you're fucking golden. Like, there's always somebody out there that has fixed the problem already, and they've already just posted it. It is a wild, wild, fun platform.
Yeah. Although I really have not been liking Twitter recently. Like, I feel like I'm only seeing stuff I don't want to see.
Oh, you seeing, like, fight videos?
I'm seeing fight videos. I'm seeing, like, a lot of the just, you know, what are they called? Gimmick accounts? It's just like, people out of context, everything, valid, people taking L's happening to women happening to L's, and it's just like the same freaking meme that everyone's posting again and again and again.
You know what's so wild? It's like, a month ago, Elon had an interview with that dipshit from the BBC, and like the guy from the BBC, like Elon asked him, of course, he's like, where's the toxicity? Show me the hate speech. Show me the toxic material on Twitter. And the guy at the BBC had no examples. So I'm like, motherfucker, you don't even use Twitter, because my For You page, I don't know if you've ever seen those accounts.
You just open your For You page and you'll find it. Like, you do not need to look for it. It's there.
Dude, the For You page, so I don't know if you've been getting it, but it's like the trans, like the fucking trans accounts or whatever, like...
Yeah.
Like, there was one that was, like, males in disguise and shit like that. Dude, it showed up on my feed. Bro, genuinely some of the most hateful shit that I've ever fucking seen. There was one where it was like...
Have you seen Leafy's Twitter lately?
No.
So, Leafy every day posts some other tweet saying something along the lines of, man, I hate trans people. Or something. Like, that's his entire Twitter right now. It's his entire gimmick.
I can imagine
It's
that
like,
as a Leafy
I wish
thing.
they didn't exist. We should kill all of them. Like just hateful stuff. Like, he mixes that between, oh my god, Destiny, look out, there's a black man having sex with your wife. Like, that's his other type tweets that he's been tweeting. I don't know how he's still on the platform.
Is he just trying to get banned again?
I don't know. I feel like he is. I feel like while he has a platform, he feels obligated to use it. So he kind of wants to be banned so that onus can be taken off his shoulders.
Yeah,
well, I'm banned. Nothing I can do.
I mean, like, that's a pretty good example. Just have, like, Leafy's Twitter then and show it to Elon and be like, yeah, what are you going to do about that? I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't even know, like, Leafy was... I knew that he had his account reinstated, but I thought that he was just, like, a Rumble guy now. Like, and just making, like,
he
streams.
has been rumbling, but, like, if you look at his Twitter... And first, I don't know why it keeps showing up on my feed, but just look at his Twitter. Just scroll!
Here, let me see this. What you said, I can't really,
No, don't show it on screen, but, like, just open it on your phone and scroll down. They are all
I'm
that.
I'm looking. I do not. So, ooh. Okay, your wife sent me news blocker. What the f***, Destiny? Reacting to trans trying to dox me on Twitter. Oh my god.
Like, he just keeps going. Oh my god.
Destiny's wife is sliding in my DMs. I like to watch. I'm proud that I could not satisfy my wife. Andrew Tate is f***ing gay. What the f***? It's just what is
He
going
titled
on?
one of his Rumble videos, "The Most Racist Man in America Apologizes to Black People," with a picture of IDubbbz.
I just saw that. He's got like the whole like. Oh man, that was an insane. Dude, the IDubbbz shit was wild too. He came out of nowhere with that fucking apology.
Yeah, that was wild.
Which,
I think what was even crazier was, like, the internet reaction to it. It's like, some people will be like, well, I feel like this is a little grifterish now that you can't monetize edgy content. And it's like, the response to that is, oh, you just want people to say slurs, don't you? It's like, no, that's really not the takeaway here. And you get the same exact thing the other way around.
I mean, my thing with IDubbbz is, like, you know, the guy was making himself out like he was fucking David Duke or, like, some fucking neo-Nazi, like, fucking account. Like, you know, the guy who's running Stormfront or some shit. And I'm like, no, not really. You weren't of that case. I'm glad that he realized that, yeah, maybe this is a hurtful word and maybe I shouldn't be, like, you know, proudly exclaiming it. But I just don't think that he was, like...
Yeah, maybe he's a bad influence to, you know, people watching him and stuff. Like, I do see that. I get that. I get him regretting it, and I'm feeling bad about it. For me, his video is, like, the saddest video I've ever seen, because this is, like, a dude that thinks he was a monster, right?
Yeah, well, he also, like, he said, like, he just doesn't feel that he can entertain people if it's not hurting them. And I'm like, dude, that is... I mean, that's some insane introspection, but also it's like, just, you're a funny guy. Like, let's not take that away. But, you know, it is what it is with Ian.
Yeah. Dude, I really wish him the best, though. Like, I kind of wish the internet would stop making fun of him. Like, I just feel bad for him now.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no way around it. Like, obviously, he's made, like, his videos in the past, and I think you're going to have a community of people that will never take that apology. Ever. You know, either way. But I just wish him, like, the best for it. Like... He's done Creator Clash. He's got, like, you know, his life in the way that he wants to go for it, and I think that should just be like...
I think he needs to focus on just making content. Like, he needs to focus on making videos and trying his best to not pay attention to the internet. See, I think that, like, apology videos like this would have been much more effective if he would have just ignored it and just changed his content naturally. But... he didn't do that. Like, he just did a few months ago, right? He did that Sam Hyde documentary where he flew out to Rhode Island to interview Sam Hyde and do that whole thing. And in the video, he said, you know, I am the R word, right? But he said the R word, right? I just don't want to get this podcast age restricted, right? So, like, he would say that stuff, and he would use that word, which I don't think aligns with his current values. I just feel like he would use it to try to tell his old audience, edgy IDubbbz is still here, guys. right? Like that, it stuck out to me. It's like, I feel bad for this dude.
Yeah, if old IDubbbz were like, well, I mean, the older IDubbbz would be like, listen, idiots, listen, R words, I'm here to make jokes, okay?
Yeah, and also, another thing, I feel like the harassment that he sent towards, like, you know, Tana or Keemstar or Leafy or whatever, warranted or not, like, he was upset that he sent all that harassment that way. I feel like he did the same thing with Froggy Fresh. It's just packaged in a moral look instead of I'm an asshole and you're an asshole.
Yeah, listen, we're all going to criticize one another, and do I think that he really sent some crazy amounts of harassment towards people that were doing some genuinely, like, shitty things at the time? I don't really believe so, but it's just regret that you see in him, right? Like, it's regret for the kind of stuff that... I think, listen, the stupidest video that, like, and everyone was hyping this up was a Tana Monjo one, where he went to her convention, he's like, say N-word, and, like, I remember, like, fucking people around me were laughing like hyenas, and I'm like, I just don't understand what his own was here. Like, what was he trying to go for? Like, he goes up to someone's convention, makes a jackass out of himself.
See, in his content cop, in that content cop on Tana, after he said it, he said, Tana, if you would have just said, well, that wasn't very funny, you would have completely destroyed me.
Yeah.
I would have been toast, but you didn't, because you're, like, really basic and obvious and predictable, right? Like, his own was the fact that it threw her so much. I feel
like I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, she really, like, you made a jackass of yourself. I don't understand what the end result was over here, but you know, it is what it is with their situation. But yeah, there's been a lot on the internet, man. There's been a lot in the last week beyond just life shit kind of throwing us for a loop. Do I see it stopping anytime soon? Nah, dude, the internet's a fucking shit pile for it.
And if you ask Quebblecop, well, I'll be replaced by AI soon anyway, so...
You know what? Before we end this, I can't wait. I want to live till, like, I see the first AI drama between AI on AI creators. I really do. You know,
like
that's...
one AI says the N-word and the other AI say that you're canceled.
I just can't wait for AI to, like, do something fucked up, and then the other AIs, commentary AIs, news AIs...
Bro!
To, like, fucking report on it and, like, shit on the person. I can't wait for fucking Philip DeFranco AI to go at it. I just want to see AI on AI violence. Because when you talk about sentience and shit, that's, like, the ultimate mark of sentience, okay? Having no empathy and just fucking kicking a dude while he's fucking down. Like,
well,
can't...
that's what the internet's really good at doing, so...
Yeah, 100%. But the internet also rewards people that just have the thickest of skins and roll on with life's punches, I guess.
True. Like Oompaville. Even though he had his podcast stolen, and his other podcast, he hasn't shown up lately because of being sick and doing stuff that we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, he's
still out there.
I just can't wait for Oompa to come back and tell us the greatest hijacking story of all time when it comes to his...
I hope he's allowed to say this stuff. I hope he gets to a point in, like, all the legal stuff he's dealing with that he can actually talk about everything. I don't know if he ever will.
Hopefully.
But I hope he can.
But anyways, I think we've been on here for a fair bit. So you wanna plug anything specifically before we end?
Yeah, you can check me out. My name is Mudahar. Some Ordinary Gamers, best channel on the internet,
No,
bigger than anyone in Faze.
I'm saying, do you wanna plug in some VTuber drama before we end this?
Not really. VTuber drama's been boring. VTuber said the R word and Twitter erupted saying that it's, like, really horrible that she did that. And she basically, in her comeback stream, said, well, the stream's just not a safe space, so leave. I think that was her response, which I thought was pretty tactful. And the internet was just so stupid, the whole situation on all sides. It's like, oh god. I don't
That's
know.
what the internet is.
Been lame this week.
That's what the internet is. The wild
It's
situation.
no Wactor company doxing their own talent. That's still up there. That's the
I
tippy
fucking love
top.
that, by the way. I want to see the civil lawsuits for that shit. I cannot wait. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. Just remember, the Chinese government hacked the U.S. Navy in the last couple days. Just wanted to let you guys know that.
I knew you were gonna stuff that in somewhere.
I had to, man. Listen, I want my last words on this podcast, if possible, if the nukes drop next week, that I at least warn people. I told you f***ing so, is what I want people to know. Anyways, this is us, and we are out.